Brett Wilson is a firefighter paramedic with the Columbia Township Fire Department. He started helping us with our fire prevention program. I never met a young man as energetic as he was, just getting on fire school, becoming a paramedic in the field for 2 years. You think he's been there for years, with the love and the passion he had. We had Fire Prevention Week. Brett Wilson was there with our Captain Brett Heidecker. They went over to our schools every day Fire Prevention Week. They did assembly one day. They brought fire trucks different days at recess.
We learned about exit plans. We learned about if there's a fire at the house that you don't take anything like your belongings. Stop, drop, and roll.
You can see Brett with every kid put his helmet and his gear on different students and let them squirt hoses, took pictures. He built off of that, not only in our schools, then started going to some of our nursery schools and our daycare places. One tragic night, the 27th, 2:56 in the morning, we got a call for an auto accident on Sprague Road. Brett lived right in front of the accident. He heard the accident. Him and his girlfriend come running out. One of the passengers in the car were out of the car on the road. Brett jumped over the ditch to go help this young man. At that point, the top of the pole broke off, and the wires came down and not hit the gentleman that was the passenger, but also a wire came into Brett. Electrocuted Brett fell on top of it. The following day, after Brett Wilson had been laid to rest, we had this call come in as 2 people burnt, that they were burning tree stumps, and it was reported as gasoline thrown on it.
At 9 in the morning, we were outside. Me and my dad were playing football, and then he suggested we should burn the stump down in the front yard, by the street, because we cut it down a few months before. Daddy brought his chainsaw and cut holes in the stump, and we poured kerosene on it. We lit it, and it exploded. If you're on fire, that's what, if you stop, drop, and roll, your clothes will go out. So I got most of it out. And then my legs were still burning from here down. And I thought, I should take my pants off and my shirt off. So I took that off, and then I went up on the hill because my dad was still burning. I went up on the hill to get a hose. I turned it on barely. And then I ran with the hose, and I just started spraying my dad. I told him to stop, drop, and roll at first. Then I told him to take all his clothes off.
When we arrived, we saw them, Troy over on the hillside a little bit, and Dad in the middle of the yard. People were dumping water on them, and there was a red gas can that was blown apart. Back in the middle of the yard, in the middle of the grass, there was burnt spots where Dad actually was. When his clothes were burning, that actually burnt the grass and that. And, that's where Troy pulled them off. His actions, I really feel, saved his dad's life. We actually were able to go down and visit Troy and his dad in the hospital. We took Brett's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, with us, and we wanted to recognize Troy from our department. We have a special T-shirt. Once a month we give to a member. We felt Troy was our hero for that month, and actually took a picture of Brett Wilson, and Brett Wilson's mom actually gave it to Troy. Mr. Wilson kneeling down beside Troy, say if you ever want to get in the fire service and that, there's going to be a scholarship started in Brett Wilson's name, and we hope you would go for it if you ever want to become a fireman.